Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all have to come into an agreement right now. The politics of the Republic of Kenya are taking shape. But one thing that is currently remaining constant on the opposition side is the current struggle between Rigathi Gachagua and Fred Matiangi. I mean, you all must come into an agreement right now that Rigathi Gachagua is acting out of selfishness in his recent remarks. Why am I saying this? Rigathi Gachagua speaking today in Kirigiti and yesterday, he has been making impromptu visit in different parts of the region, more so around Kiambu County, Murang'a, and all the other areas of the Mount Kenya region. But one thing has been constant within Rigathi Gachagua's speeches lately, that DCP is going to front a presidential candidate come the year 2027. Now, we all know that on Sunday, which was on 1st of June 2025, one former cabinet secretary of interior, Fred Matiangi, made the decision to quit his job from World Bank and return to Kenya to start his campaigns for the year 2027. Now, Matiang'i has been pressured, has been pushed by one Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to make his return and make the grand plan of his nationwide tour in the Republic of Kenya so that he will resonate with the people on the ground before President William Ruto and co kick off their campaigns in the year 2026. We all agree that as we speak right now, 2027, it's remaining only, I think, 24 months. Hmm? About 24 months. Hizo ndizo miezi. Si 24 months, about 6 months plus 12 months. That is 18 months. Now before election tutaongeza miezi ingine hapo. It's about 24 months. Now that tells you, if he begins this early, he will have some time to garner votes and change the demographics of how voters are reasoning with William Ruto right now. Because I tell you, the current thread of opposition that we have, people like Akina Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, Martha Karua, they are, I mean, their politics is secluded in some region. Kalonzo Musyoka continues to tour Kitui, Makueni, Machakos. Yeah, that is his area. Rigathi Gachagua akienda sana atakuwa amevuka Meru, Embu na Tharaka Nithi. They are not doing the politics that we want them to do. The politics of uniting the Republic of Kenya. But one man has everything to lose in this matter because his region has proven beyond reasonable doubt that as a whole, they are going to support him. That is Fred Matiang'i. And I tell you, the support, and I dare say, the first rally that Matiang'i did in Kisii and Nyamira when he returned last month, it is something that sent a message to Rigathi Gachagua and every other opposition chief. Kalonzo Musyoka changed the narrative. Ile message Kalonzo alikuwa anatuambia that he has a chance of becoming, he believes that he can be the presidential candidate for the year 2027, ameshabadilisha. Kalonzo ashabadilisha, Martha Karua ashabadilisha, au wengine washabadilisha. But one man is jealous of Fred Matiang'i. And he doesn't believe in Fred Matiang'i. More so, he doesn't believe in Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And that is one Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua believes that if Fred Matiang'i, if all of them rally behind Fred Matiang'i, and Fred Matiang'i goes ahead to win the elections of the year 2027, then Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta will be running the show in the year 2027. And if Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is running the show, he, Rigathi Gachagua, will have no say, and he, Rigathi Gachagua, will suffer the wrath of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta under the leadership of Fred Matiang'i as the president. And that is why Rigathi Gachagua has fronted himself as a possible presidential candidate in the year 2027. And I tell you, That might be the greatest mistake that the opposition can do. Having Rigathi Gachagua on the ticket of the opposition in the year 2027. I dare say Rigathi Gachagua is an end. Is a means to an end. We can use him to unseat the current regime, but we cannot install him as the president of the Republic of Kenya. Why? We all know the true characters of that man. Wewe umeshasikia historia mahali ya Rigathi. You don't tell me you don't know about Rigathi. Rigathi is a man that his reputation when it comes to being hostile to his enemies has spoken in several languages. It has spoken in low tones and high tones. The man was so brutal to Uhuru Kenyatta when he took over as the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. Now imagine him again gaining the power in the year 2027 and he is installed as either a deputy president or a presidential candidate. Bwana, it will be catastrophic. Akina Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, akina Raila Amolo Odinga, William Ruto. Munasemanga it William Ruto is bad or William Ruto is dangerous. I tell you, you don't know this man. Yeah, my brothers, you don't know Rigathi Gachagua. We know him. He is our son. He is one of the Mulima sons. We know him better than you can even comprehend. So I dare tell you, the fight that Rigathi Gachagua is having is not with anybody else. Even him refusing to rally behind Fred Matiangi is not for any other reason, but because he knows Fred Matiangi is supported by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and he knows Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta made Matiangi who he is today. Another thing, the state is as prepared to bribe Fred Matiangi, but one thing that they are forgetting, this man, the money that Matiangi made while he was the cabinet secretary and under the regime of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, that money is enough to sustain his third or fourth generations. Apart from that, this man went to the World Bank to work there. They saw the potential he had. So imagine the amount of money Matiangi was pocketing while working at the World Bank. And not only that, the man was also cleaning money for the Kenyatta family. Remember the Pandora Papers. Remember the Tokyo bank accounts. Remember the London bank accounts. All pointing towards the Kenyatta family. Let me ask you, why, of all the professions Matiangi could have taken, Matiangi worked as a cabinet secretary of interior. Before that, he was a professor. He worked as a cabinet secretary of education, ICT. Why did he choose to go to work in the World Bank? Because there, it was also a job that could get him what he needed to come and unseat the said regime that we have right now. But I will remind you, you are dealing with one of the most brutal leaders that you have ever seen in Africa. If it's not for the constitution and democracy that shields us, then William Ruto. You speak of one Idi Amin Dada, but one thing, William Ruto, he is called William Kipchirchir Samoei Ruto. He is a genius in politics, and he knows if Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta doesn't unite against him, hey, munaimba tu one time. But one thing you don't know, huyo mtu ile mikakati anaweka, the structures he is putting in place. Imagine, the guy is currently deregistering the Mount Kenya region voters, and you can do nothing. The guy is currently putting in an IEBC that is his own IEBC, which he believes will swear him in for the second term come the year 2027. Na mnaniambia eti you are divided Ati Kalonzo run for president huku, Gachagua run huku, Matiangi huku. And you dare said you will beat this man. You have, I mean, one man that must put Kalonzo Musyoka mnaweza mpanga, lakini one man that has proven to be a hard nut to crack is Rigathi Gachagua. Gachagua anauliza eti nilete kura zangu milioni 6 mniambie nisikue kwa hiyo tiketi. Yet he knows constitutionally he is not supposed to be there. I think it's high time Matiangi returns. His return currently should be a return that is strategically and should be executed with the utmost care, where Matiangi should start his nationwide tour. Atembee, si alianza Nyamira na Kisii, aingie Webuye, aingie western part of Kenya, then aingie Luo Nyanza, then aingie Mlima Kenya, and in Mlima Kenya he should be welcomed there by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. From there now anaweza kuja Nairobi, aende Coastal Region. If we see the reception that Matiangi gets from that, now we can really see that he is ready now to seal the record. The man can seal the record. If Matiangi proves beyond reasonable doubt that he has the love of every Kenyan from every different region, Rigathi Gachagua will have nothing to say to him. He will have to fall in place. Rigathi Gachagua will have to follow, Fred Matiangi. It's the same thing that happened back in the year 2002. Raila Amolo Odinga wanted to run for presidency, but KANU denied him the ticket. Moi gave the ticket to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So Raila Amolo Odinga stayed back in the government, but looking on whether to follow Uhuru or on whether to follow the opposition then that was led by Mwai Kibaki, Charity Ngilu, Martha Karua, and the late Vice President Kijana Wamalwa. Are we together? That is how the cards played out. Tuko pamoja. So when you look at it in that dimension, it's the same thing that will happen. Rigathi Gachagua has to see that Matiangi really controls the country. He has to see that Matiangi has the say of the people of the Republic of Kenya. Tuko pamoja. So when he does, he will have to fall in place. He will have to agree that Matiangi tosha. It's the same thing that Raila Amolo Odinga did. In the year 2002, Raila Amolo Odinga, though he knew that he was staying back either to follow Uhuru or to decide, he was so undecided. But after kuona the Rainbow Mwenge Coalition, the NARC Kenya Rainbow Coalition, alisema Mwai Kibaki tosha. That is when he did his rally at Uhuru Park. And I dare say that is the same scenario that we are going to witness. Rigathi Gachagua has to be proven beyond reasonable doubt that Matiangi, as the support of the people of the Republic of Kenya had. And Rigathi Gachagua cannot become a vice president. That position is a position that will be preserved for none other than the Luhya community. And the Luhya community here, we are speaking about none other than the leader of Tawe movement, George Natembeya. Hiyo ndio mchezo iko. Hiyo ndio karata iko. Rigathi Gachagua is fighting his own demons. Rigathi Gachagua is fighting his own demons. But he has to come into agreement that his political career died when he was impeached. So the best thing that he can become is a kingmaker of the politics of the Republic of Kenya. Wadau, mchezo ndio huo, karata ndio hiyo. Maoni ni kwako. Achia maoni kwenye comment section, tungane katika video zetu zijazo. Hii ni The Kenyan Daily Report.